So I guess this is a thing. I didn't even know about this. Like this, apparently there was a trailer out about for months, but I only found out because I found out through Matt Frank, who freaked out about this. So Matt Frank, who's an artist at IDW, mostly known for most of the Godzilla comics, namely Rulers of Earth, and he shared this image with a lot of his friends, and yeah, this is a thing now. Yeah, as you can see from the title, Godzilla vs. Evangelion. It's a thing. It's a game, and we're going to have Godzilla and the Evas in the same game. Now, let me back up by saying this game is called City Shrouded in Darkness. The City Shrouded in Darkness is a game from Bandai and Namco, and they're crossing over with Genzilla. I think that's an animation company. Never heard of them, but yeah. And yeah, they're doing this game, which is the best way I could describe it from the trailer, is that you play as a survivor in Tokyo as it's being attacked by giant monsters, namely Godzilla and the fucking Evas. So, yeah. I think that's a cool idea. I mean, would it be cooler if you could play as the monsters? Yeah, and for all we know, there could be it could be like that. But namely, it is a game that is going to focus on you as a survivor as you're trying to escape and get out of the city, apparently. I can't understand... The trailer was in Japanese, so I couldn't really understand a lot of it. But from the images, yeah, you don't play as the monsters, you play as a survivor. Now, that can be a really cool angle as well. That can be an equally cool angle as well. But the fact that we have Godzilla and the Eva units in here is nothing short of really awesome, because you guys don't understand. Toho is incredibly stingy when it comes to the Godzilla title. They don't cross over for nothing. And the times they have, it was for, they did one with Godzilla fighting Charles Barkley, and I think that's it. Really. So the fact that Godzilla in here is fighting Evas from Neon, the Eva units from Neon Genesis Evangelion is nothing short of holy shit. But yeah, this game sounds awesome. Now again, I'm a little bummed that we're not going to be able to play as the monsters, and this is for PS4 and PSP, which I don't own, but I'm probably gonna own when this game comes out. But I think but at the same time, I think it's a really cool idea that you get to play from they're doing a survival horror game with giant monsters, because, you always play as the giant monsters, you always watch them wreck the buildings, but you never really think about, a majority of the time, you really think about how, what goes on with the survivors, how do they get out of the city. The only movie that really delved in that was Cloverfield, and a little bit of GMK. GMK did that a little bit, but Cloverfield did it the most. So yeah, it's going to take the idea of Cloverfield, of taking, put in this situation, and yeah, they're going to have these giant, and you're caught in the crossfire between Godzilla, the Evas, and apparently those are not the only monsters in here. So far, the Evas and Godzilla were the only creatures announced so far, but from what I understand, there's going to be a lot more kaiju and giant and mechas in here. So be prepared. So if we have Ultraman, Gamera, the Titans, from the Colossal Titan, or the Titans in general, I'm a shit a brick, guys. I'm a shit a legit brick. Not like make a whole thing of poo shaped like a brick, like an actual red brick in my toilet. And it's gonna stink, but it's gonna hurt like hell, and I'm not gonna be able to sit down for a week, but I'm gonna shit a legit brick if we have all these other giant monsters in the same game. And again, I'd have been bummed if you can't play as all the monsters, but I think it's really cool of doing it in a different style, you know what I'm saying? We still get the monsters fighting each other, don't get me wrong, but you just don't play as them. Maybe they'll do a sequel game where you fight and you can play as the monsters, but I think it's a cool idea of playing this kind of style with these type, with having all these giant monsters around. Because I think there's so many cool aspects you could do. Like, they showed a little bit of the trailer, and you play as this character, and you see in a like a broken down subway station, something grabs the guy in front of you and yanks him out the window. So that could be another monster. That could have been a fucking Titan. Who knows? They're apparently announcing a few more other characters and giant monsters for this game. I am really interested into seeing where this is going to go. They didn't say which Avas were going to be in the game, though. They didn't say which one. I bet you it's going to just be Ava 1 and Ava 2, really. I think it's just going to be Asuka and Shinji. Goddamn Shinji Ikari. God fucking damn it. And it's coming... Apparently the release date is somewhere close to Godzilla Resurgence, so... Smart move, guys. You have a game where the giant monster is, getting his big re-release in Japan, and it's also the Neon Genesis element because the guy directing it is also the director of Neon Genesis. So, smart marketing there, guys. Real smart. And I don't mean sarcastically. That's actually fucking genius. But yeah, there's so many characters you could have because again, they're not just having one giant monster in here. Just Godzilla and the Avas in here. They're apparently going to have. It's unconfirmed of who else, but I would like to see like like I said, the Titans would be cool, or at least just the Colossal Titan, or maybe just Colossal Titan and the Armored and Female Titan, just those three. That'd be cool. Again, Ultraman. He's got his 50th anniversary this year, so I would be surprised if he wasn't in the game. And we could actually have Godzilla and Ultraman throwing down. Wouldn't be as cool as Godzilla and Gamera, but it's Godzilla and Ultraman. That's another one. Gamera. Could Gamera be in this game? Could, not just Godzilla, but, his other enemies like Ghidorah, Rodan and Gearus, are the other Toho monsters? Is it just going to be Godzilla? I would bet that it's probably... I would like to see the other Godzilla monsters, the other kaiju, but honestly, I'm okay with just it being Godzilla and just having a few other characters from around. Because I think there's so many other kaiju out there and, mechas out there that you can do this without needing more Godzilla monsters. So, yeah, you've got... I'd love to see Attack on Titan. I'd love to see, Ultraman, Zone Fighter. Maybe a Super Sentai mecha. Maybe one of them. But yeah, I'm just like fucking flabbergasted right now. There's a word I never use that all these monsters, Godzilla and Evangelion in the same game together. Who the fuck thought that was gonna ever happen? Not me, that's who. I never thought that was possible. But, yeah. Now, I will say this, that the images I found were in a Japanese magazine that was online, and it's actually from from Bandai Namco, so it's actually legit. And the trailer doesn't really reveal much, but this... But the Bandai Namco magazine did reveal those images. So yeah. Godzilla's design, real quick. Godzilla's design is very Heisei. It's very Heisei, and I can understand that because I really love the Heisei design. It's my favorite. And that's the most recognizable of the Godzilla designs, even more than Showa. I was actually surprised that they weren't going to go with Shin Gojira. I'm surprised they weren't going with him. But again, Japan really seems to dig the Heisei design of Godzilla, and I don't blame them. I love that too. So I think that's really cool. It looks very much like I don't want to say 85 Godzilla from Heisei. I think it looks more it's more closer to Godzilla vs. Biollante design and the Godzilla vs. Mothra design. That's what it kind of looks like to me. But yeah. I'm really... Can't you tell I'm excited for this game? So you guys tell me... Excuse me. You guys tell me. What do you guys think of City Shrouded in Darkness? Do you guys like the idea? Do you guys hate the idea? Are you guys excited for a kaiju survival horror game? And are you more excited to see Godzilla and Evangelion in the same game? Furthermore, what other kaiju and mechas do you want to see in this game? Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.